sugar, spice, and everything nice. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect little girl, but Professor Utonium accidentally added an extra ingredient into the concoction, Chemical X. Thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born. Using their ultra superpowers, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup have dedicated their lives to fighting crime and the forces of evil. Hopefully you guys heard that opening monologue. Pretty iconic one. Just waiting for more people to arrive. I have some music playing in the background since it's just gonna be me, and I thought it'll probably make this just slightly less boring if I have some music playing in the background. Just slightly less boring. But nothing too distracting or anything. Yes, Cartoon Weirdo, show music. It's jazz to be exact. And to quote the great Barry B. Benson, you like jazz? Okay, everything seems to be fine. Well, I'll wait for at least one more person to arrive. Yes, thank you, Moonchild. The music does sound great. Well, let me know if the audio is balanced between my voice and the music, if you could hear me loud enough or clear enough. Entertainment person for liking my choice of music here. Okay, I guess I could get things started. So, last year there's been a trend that's been going in the cartoon community of tier lists specifically on tiermaker.org. I'm sorry, tiermaker.com. Basically, it's where people go on the site, choose a template, and basically give their rankings of cartoon series or cartoon characters, or actually, you can rank pretty much anything on there. And I've been watching videos on tier list rankings, and kind of immediately, I've been thinking of doing it myself. Of course, I have shared some tier lists on Twitter since last year. Like, I use what seems to be the most popular one, the 100 Cartoons Pro tags. Like, you might have seen the Round Table use it as their ranking. and I also shared a Nicktoons one, and there was also one for ranking characters from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. And there was also a template for As Told by Ginger characters as well. I'm not sure if I shared it, but I probably should, or either redo it and then share it. But yeah, based on your votes, I'm gonna be ranking Cartoon Network shows. Like looking at the poll on the community over here is Cartoon Network shows are in the lead at 70%. Wait, I should probably turn down the music just a bit. And Nicktoons is at second place at 17%, and Canadian cartoons are in third place at 6%, and Disney animated films are at 5%. And yeah, I will. Yeah. I'm surprised a lot of you didn't vote for Disney movies. Like you think that there'll be a lot of Disney fanatics in my community here, and other is 2%, and the other being based on Daniel's comment here, TBS cartoons. Okay, I think I've done enough stalling and awkward pauses. Let's just get into it. But firstly, I just want to know from you guys, which Cartoon Network tier list maker I should choose. Because you see, there's two interesting templates I'll show you right now. And so you see, there's this one. And here's the second one that I found. Now this one is good in that it has pretty much all of the original Cartoon Network series, along with some acquired stuff. But this here seems to have a slightly bigger variety. Slightly bigger? No, it's actually much bigger variety, like lots of classic Hanna-Barbera and Warner Brothers cartoons here. So I'd like to know from you guys, which one should I use? Should I use the first one or the second one? First one, second one. First one, second one. Let me look at the chat right now. No responses just yet. Yep, just waiting for you guys to tell me if I should do my Cartoon Network ranking based on the template I'm showing you right now, this first one that I discovered, or this one. This other one that I think this one might be just as interesting for me due to the larger variety and some of a lot of the classic stuff that's here. It'll be fun to share my opinions on those, even if some of them actually a lot of them to kind of spoil. Uh, I have not seen too many classic Hanna-Barbera shows, but I'll get into that later. Well, I'll get into it if you want me to use this template or the first one. Let me look back at the chat. Okay, so Just Love and Life says the second one, and the Cartoon Weirdo says I'll go with the ones that you can identify easily with pictures. So I'm assuming that's the first one, right? And Uno Bomber says the first one too, and Kant says the second one, and Weird Entertainment Person says the first one. Okay, so that's 2 votes for the second one, and 2 votes for the first one. So there's kind of a tie here. So just wait for more votes from you guys. First one, second one. Yes, welcome Max and Ruby Fanatic 2005. It's all up to me. Thanks, Cons. Yes, I'm doing great, Max and Ruby Fanatic 2005. Oh, in case you haven't seen it yet, I thank you for reacting to Classic Logo Remake Party 4 from a few months ago. Because I don't know if you saw it in the shout out in the community section. Thank you for giving Classic Logo Remake Party a like there. Okay, so yeah, I'll probably go with the first one. Yeah, I agree with the Cartoon Weirdo. With this one, you could easily identify them. Like they show more of the illustrations. I mean, they show off the pictures more. You can easily identify them compared to this. You could hardly see the regular show logo, for instance. Well, I'll look at the chat one more time to see your votes. Kant says that I should remake the United Plankton Pictures logo. Yeah, okay, I'll keep that in mind. Just checking the music. Okay, I think probably that's enough time waiting. I'll go with the first one. So, as you can see here, the first ranking is the best, which is, well, the ones that I think are the absolute best, so, like, almost flawless. And A means that it's simply great. Occasionally it can be underwhelming, but a few flaws, but but okay. I am so sorry. Yeah. Um, and then there's B, which means simply good. Like, not one of my absolute favorites, but reasonably enjoyable. And then there's C, which means okay or mediocre. Like, it's decent. I have kind of neutral feelings towards it. It's fine. It's not bad, but it's not all that good. And then we have bad, which means, well, it's bad. And then we have the never watched / don't remember category. I'll use this for shows that I never watched at all, or for shows that I might have caught a teeny tiny bit of, like probably while channel surfing or just coming across it, but I don't have enough memory of it or enough experience with it, like to really give a full, clear, concise opinion on the show. And then there's what is this? Basically, it means I don't recognize the cartoon at all, but I think pretty much all of these I've at least can identify or at least heard of, like pretty much every single one of these. So okay, let me see how long are we. Okay, we're about 60 minutes in. So let's do this. Starting off with Two Stupid Dogs, I will give this a B. It's a show that I have some respect for, given how it was made during a time where Hanna-Barbera, they were just freshening up their game once Fred Cyber became the president, their last president, and when Cartoon Network was just starting up, and you know, they were looking for some fresh blood. And it would pave the way for the cartoons, the What a Cartoon Show, and so forth. But I've only seen like a handful of episodes of it, but I still see more of it. Like easily the most memorable thing about Two Stupid Dogs is Hollywood. You know, the big guy who says, "Isn't that cute?" But it's wrong. I'm not gonna bother do an exact replica of it, an exact impression of the voice, but you should know I think you guys should know what I'm talking about. So yeah, Two Stupid Dogs, I'll give it a nice solid B rating. I should check it out more often. Oh, by the way, I haven't seen the super secret squirrel segments on it, which were in between the main Two Stupid Dog segments. Okay, up next we have 16, a Canadian gem over here. I'll put it in the great category. My appreciation for this kind of started around 2012 was when I was really getting into the show, like when I was watching nothing but Cartoon Network Canada for a while when it was first launched. And just like some other Teletoon originals like Braceface, 16 it puts some boundaries despite the show being G-rated. You have to give it credit for some of the jokes and the topics that they were able to slide past the censors. Like, I've heard that the Canadian censors aren't as strict as like in the US, and I could believe it with shows like 16. Like, it's my favorite of the Fresh TV cartoons. The total drama is it's good too, but I'll elaborate more on that later when I rank that show. Pup Named Scooby-Doo, considered to be one of the better examples of taking a cartoon character and making them kiddified, casting in on Muppet Babies' success. But I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things about it. Let's leave it at that. And now we have Adventure Time. Super revolutionary for the past decade of animation. It just turned 10 years old this year. But overall, my liking for it is kind of casual. I'm more for a regular show guy. And I'll definitely admit that I lost track of it. But by 2012 or 2013 was when I was losing track of the show. And then they started doing story arcs, and well, only if I really feel like it, I would binge the entirety of Adventure Time in chronological order. But I might. But overall, Adventure Time, give it a solid B rating. I respect it. Almost Naked Ammos. This is a White TV original. It's okay, I guess. I caught it. The art style, it's grotesque, but I've seen uglier. The writing is kind of meh. I do like the duck character in it. He's kind of known for being the non-sequitur type of guy. The Amazing World of Gumball. Yes, this show is, well, maybe amazing's too strong of a word to describe it, but of what I've seen, it is great. I admire the medium blending and the humor, especially when they break the fourth wall. Like, this show, alongside Billy and Mandy and Chowder and Sheep, you know, there should be sort of a death battle between the Cartoon Network shows that break the fourth wall all the time. And I remember seeing the episode, or maybe not the full episode, but at least the scene where the climax happens and what's everything goes from finished animation all the way to the storyboard stage. That was a great fourth wall break there. Oh, let me just check on the chat. Oh, hey Norbert, what's up? Yes. 16, gotta make the good times last. Let's see who else is here. Oh yeah, Cartoon Weirdo point out, a lot of people who worked on Two Stupid Dogs went on to work on Dexter's Lab or the Powerpuff Girls. Yes, that's correct. Gendy Tarkovsky, Craig McCracken, and Rob Redzetti. Basically, you could compare Two Stupid Dogs to the Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack in terms of all of the careers in animation it wants, and the people who will go on to create shows that are just as successful, just as revolutionary. And next we have Apple and Onion. I've seen the first couple of episodes of it. Give it a B rating. I really like the theme song though. That was actually what motivated me to check it out, because of the cute, easygoing theme song that the two main characters sing. You should check it out for yourself if you haven't. It's a funny intro. Ah yes, Atomic Betty. Kind of a staple of Teletoon for many years. Almost to the same extent as Johnny Test. I remember seeing it when it first came out. And I didn't catch much of it, but I'll give it a C. It's solid. And next we have Baby Looney Tunes. Honestly, I think the show is overhated. Like, yeah, I get it, like, Looney Tunes are some of the last cartoons you'd make a baby versions out of, but, you know, from what I saw of it many years ago, it's solid. It has some good jokes and some some nods to the original classic sorts. Like, there was one episode where Granny was reading to the babies a book called Termite Terrace, which, to those of you who don't know, it's the nickname for the old Warner Brothers animation studio. And the four main termites were Tex, Bob, Chuck, and Frizz. And I think you should be able to, you might be able to know who those guys are, the four most famous Warner Brothers directors. And there was a whole episode that's kind of a remake of Duck Amuck. I remember seeing that. So yeah, Baby Looney Tunes, it's not the best, but it's adequate enough. Batman Beyond, haven't seen it, but heard good things about it. Batman the Brave and the Bold, I'll throw it in this category too. I remember catching a teeny tiny bit of it on Cartoon Network Canada, but not enough to have a full opinion on it, or rather a full official opinion on it. It does look kind of funny though. It seems to be more of a comedic take on Batman compared to the 1992 series. And Dedrick Bader is the voice of Batman himself. He's a really good voice actor. I best remember him as Kenny from Baby Blues and Hoss Delgado in Billy and Mandy. So he should be enough to kind of win me over to watch Batman the Brave and the Bold sometime. Ben 10. The original Ben 10 alongside Omniverse are the only Ben 10 series I've watched. Yeah, put up here. Yeah, I know a lot of people really like it, but I just thought it was solid enough. And I haven't seen Alien Force or Ultimate Alien, and I have seen some of Omniverse. It's okay too. The remake that pretty much everybody hates, I haven't checked it out, but only in very, very, very small, like seconds while channel surfing. So I'll put here. Beware the Batman. Haven't seen it. Oh wait, let me look at the chat. Okay, Apple and Onion is really funny. Yeah, it is. Well, actually, no, I don't know if it's really funny. I know there was an episode where they had a cat, but to be honest, it's slightly forgettable, but not so much in a bad way, but in a way that, you know, I just want to rewatch it. Then again, I'm kind of thinking why I put it in the good category, but from what I did see, it was good from what I can remember, but I'll have to rewatch it. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah. What else? Okay. So what year was I born? 2000. And how about Space Ghost Coast to Coast? Don't worry, I'm gonna rank that. And what else? Camp Westwell has SpongeBob music. Yes, that's true. A lot of shows do have music from the APM library, like SpongeBob and Ren and Stimpy, of course. Also Teacher's Pet, and sometimes Rocko's Modern Life, and even The Simpsons as well. Oh, and The Mighty Bee as well. Con says, I'm not a fan of superhero shows due to them feeling too similar, so I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, like superhero shows are, whenever I'm in the mood, I could watch a DC show. Like, I'll explain more when I rank the Justice League stuff. What else? And don't worry, I'm gonna rank Total Drama as well. But yeah, Camp Laswell, from the creator of Rocco's Modern Life, from what I saw, it's okay. It requires some rewatching as well. Like, it has some admirable elements, like, uh, like the voice acting and the character designs as well. Like, Joe Murray is a great animator, cartoonist. Like, I know Norbert's a huge fan of it, but don't worry, don't worry. Sometime I will have a Laswell marathon. Someday. Someday in the near future. Oh boy, here's Ted Turner's golden boy, Captain Planet. The soul that he thinks is superior to SWAT Cats, and he wanted SWAT Cats to be cancelled in favor of this to be on here. I forgot to mention something. In the description here, it says that they're excluding Hanna-Barbera shows, but a pup named Scooby-Doo is here, as well as Captain Planet. Like, there are at least a few Hanna-Barbera shows that aren't Cartoon Network originals specifically that are in this roster here. So kind of contradicts in there, but kind of nitpicky overall. Yes, so Captain Planet, I haven't seen it, and I haven't seen the OKKO review of it. No, the OKKO crossover, sorry. Yeah, I haven't seen that either. But all I'm aware is that it could be kind of cheesy with its environmental messages from what I heard. And Chopsaki Chocks, oh boy, this show from Artman Animations. I remember seeing it on Cartoon Network Canada and I think Teletoon as well. I'll put it here. The main characters barely look like chickens. Like, I recently saw the independent animated movie Killer Bean Forever about these anthropomorphic coffee beans, and they look more like chickens than these guys here. Just saying. Is Kitty Bobo in here? I don't think so, not by itself. It's only a pilot that aired as part of the cartoon show, which is in this which is on this tier list roster. Yes, that's great that you love Camp Laswell more than I do Cartoon Weirdo. Okay, moving on. We got Chowder. This show is really great when it wants to be. Like, I've only seen mostly the first season of it, but just for episodes like, what's it called? Brain Grub, where Chowder becomes smarter, but then, reality breaks, kind of like the ending to the Billy and Mandy episode, My Fair Mandy, and also the episode Schnitzel makes a deposit. To be honest, I'm not as in love with Chowder as some other people, but from what I've seen of the fourth wall breaking humor, yeah, it deserves an A. Like C.H. Greenblatt, he's a really great creator, not just with Chowder, but also for his contributions to the golden age of SpongeBob, as well as Billy and Mandy and the last season of Evil Con Carne as well. And Harvey Beaks, it's decent, but if I have time to do the second most voted option on my poll, which is Nicktoons, but to be honest, I don't think I would. That will have to be next time. Then I'll elaborate more on my thoughts on Harvey Beaks, or at least I'll try to, because my rambling is already making this kind of long enough, and we have a lot more shows to go. So I'm kind of glad I decided with this template, because the second one seems to be much longer. So Clarence, I've seen a lot of people say it's underrated, but honestly, C for Clarence, also C for average. Although, the one thing I like about it is Sumo, voiced by Tom Kenny, because of how much he sounds like Zorak from Space Ghost. Like, with Seabart and Croker gone, I think Tom Kenny should be the new Zorak if they were to do anything new with that character. Class of 3000, I haven't seen it, but I'm planning on doing it. It's created by Andre 3000 and starring Andre 3000 from Outcast. Great artist. And I know Animator 320 is a huge fan of the show. He thinks it's underrated the same way I'm a huge advocate for Evil Concorde over here. Quality with a Chance of Meatballs, the series. I said this in my first live stream with Norbert, and I'll say it again. I question why it exists. Like, the timeline is... Wait, no, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a full episode of it, but I just question why it exists. Like, Flint Lockwood and Sam Sparks, apparently they meet when they're high schoolers, because Flint made a machine that retcons the events of the first film, at least from what I heard, I think. Like, the art style looks cool, it resembles the end credits to the films, but like Pie Guy Rule said a long time ago, Flint's design, the way his nose is, it looks like he has a tumor. I'm sorry. No, I'm not the only one. Obviously, I'm not the only one who thinks that. And Ryoko. Haven't seen it, but I heard it's a cult classic. Kind of. I've seen lots of people say it's underrated, but yet to watch it. Sorry, guys. Camp Watts was actually celebrating its 15th anniversary this year. Oh yeah, that's cool. And you actually like Clarence back when everybody disliked it. But that's cool. Yeah, that's cool, cartoon weirdo. Yeah, Clarence, from what I could remember, it was a show that had mixed reception at best, I think, but then more and more people were warming up towards it, calling it an underrated gem. But yeah, a lot of people, some people disliked it, and it didn't help that the same year it premiered, the creator was fired for reasons that I'm not gonna get into. Moving on to Kids Next Door, I'll give it a B. Not a huge fan of it. It requires some rewatching as well. Most of my memory of it, most of my craving for it was satisfied through the games, but of what I saw of the show, it's good. That's all I could say. Now, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Now we finally have something for the S tier. I've been a fan of this cute pink little dog over here for as long as I could remember. I need to work on the way I elaborate my words. But yeah, Courage the Cowardly Dog. What more to say? Yeah. And Cow and Chicken I'll put in the A tier as well. That's another long-time favorite of mine. And Craig of the Creek. I haven't seen much of it, but I want to so badly. I want to give the show the proper viewing exposure it deserves. It looks so good. I've seen clips of it and maybe 1 or 2 episodes. It's funny and also like perhaps the most relatable thing about Craig of the Creek is the episode with that one guy where he's just kind of name dropping Cartoon Network shows that aired in the 90s or 2000s. Like, hey, you remember Kids Next Door? You remember Dexter's Laboratory? You remember Symbiotic Titan? You remember frickin' the Pirates of Dark Water? No, that's an obscure one. I've heard of it. I haven't seen Pirates of Dark Water myself, but I'm just aware that it's an obscure Hanna-Barbera show from the 90s. I was like, wow, really? They acknowledge that? But yeah, Craig of the Creek, I have belief that it deserves a solid B. Did you like Mad? The shorts by Mike Martella. Well, to be honest, there are only a few sorts on Mad that I could identify by artists. Like, I could identify the sorts based off of Don Martin's cartoons. I think that's his name. And also Mark Merrick, who did Kablam, or the Henry and June segments of Kablam. But probably creamed beans. You could give me an example of which of the sorts Mike Martella did for Mad. But yeah, I'll get to Mad in a bit. The Cramp Twins. I haven't seen it, but I heard kind of bad things about it. Or mediocre things about it. I would jokingly refer to them as the Crap Twins, but to be honest, I have not seen a full episode of it. But I think I did see at least a promo of the show on YTV long ago, and I know that the blue brother over here, I think his name is it Lenny? Is it Kenny? Or I think I think it's well, I know he's voiced by Tom Kenny, but that's the extent of my familiarity with the Cramp Twins. Superhero girls, DC superhero girls. Apart from the short that was released with Teen Titans Go to the Movies, which I did see in theaters, I was one of the few people who paid my money to see it, as it was in theaters bombing, even though it was made on a small budget. Otherwise, I haven't seen DC superhero girls myself. It looks cute though. Dexter's Laboratory. Supposedly my #1 favorite Cartoon Network show of all time. I say supposedly because, you know, these days I'm giving more attention to these guys and combined this show. But I think, yeah, I'm gonna say it again. You know what? Take a drink whenever I say this. Dexter's Lab, it does require some rewatching. Like, take a drink whenever I say this show requires some rewatching. But yeah, I've been a fan of Dexter's Lab for many years. Great art style, influential art style at that. I know Gendy Tartakovsky said that he was influenced by the Dover Boys, as I was when I was making the Grover guys. But I think the Dover Boys influence in terms of the smear frames, I think it's more prevalent in Johnny Bravo, but I'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, I love Dexter's Lab for the characters like Dexter, Dee Dee, Mandark, and Mom and Dad. Yes, Saturdays are made for dads, and Dad's car. That's probably the most memeable moment from the the last 2 seasons of Dexter's Lab. Like, I've seen it get thousands of likes and retweets on Twitter these days. It's funny. But yeah, Dexter's Lab. I love all 4 seasons of it, by the way. And Dragons, the How to Train Your Dragon series. I put it on as background noise. Never been too big of a fan of the How to Train Your Dragon films to begin with. Not that they're bad, just a bit boring. But once again, rewatch. I might see something that I didn't see before. You know, just like that Beauty and the Beast song. Duck Dodgers and the 24th and 1/2 cents. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do any off-key singing, or at least I'll try not to. But yeah, Duck Dodgers. Firstly, the theme song by Tom Jones is great. I remember seeing it long ago on Tele2, like many years ago, and it was good from what I can remember. Like the first episode I remember, and the episodes where Marvin the Martian, or as he's referred to in the series, Martian Commander X2, I think, where he's just hanging out with K9. Those I remember. And I heard the Samurai Jack parody is good as well. They even have Genki Tartakovsky to be, I think, a guest animator on it, or just a special guest. But I haven't seen Duck Dodgers in over a decade and a half. At least full episodes of it. But it's considered to be one of the best Looney Tunes TV series, and once again, rewatch. Okay, let me just check on the chat. Okay, so Mike Martella did newspaper comics like that Uncle Grandpa Time Machine episode. Oh, okay. Yep, let's probably look more into that when I have the time. Ed and Eddie. This might be a controversial opinion, but then again, I kind of already shared some controversial opinions already. But Ed and Eddie is just a B for me. No, I respect it. It's a charming show, and I get why a lot of people consider it to be one of the best, if not the best. And for a long time, I want to see it. Like, I know I did have some memories of it, very vague memories of seeing it on Teletoon. But by the time I got a functioning memory when I was very, very young, it was already off the air. Like, they didn't air the episodes where they went to school, or even any of the TV specials or the TV movie, the big series finale. To my knowledge, they didn't even air them on Cartoon Network Canada, just the first 4 seasons. So I had to satisfy my Ed and Eddie craving as a kid. With the online games. Like, one of my favorites was Infect Ed, which it's basically you're inside Ed's body, and he's eating a really bad jawbreaker, so you have to play as a white blood cell to kill off all of the germs, and at the boss battle, you're supposed to defeat the evil jawbreaker that Ed ate. But I could never finish that game. At least from what I can remember. But yeah, Ed and Eddie, I don't love as much people, but I'm sorry, I don't love it as much as a lot of people, but still good. Okay, the most underrated of them all, Evil Con Carne. Yeah, boy, S tier. I already know you guys saw that comment. And do I really need to say again why I love this show? Okay, but to briefly recap for those who aren't familiar, I've been a fan of it for 3 years. The characters, they grew on me more and more. The art style's great. Yeah. Wait. Sorry, I was just checking something. But yeah, Evil Con Carne, been a fan of it for 3 years. Art style's great, characters are great. The more I watch it, the more I admire it. The more I watch it, the more my admiration for it grows, and I'm hoping that one of these days it will come back. Also, Major Dr. Gasway. Just Major Dr. Gasway. Oh, and General Scar, he's my favorite character. Actually, you know what, it's pretty much a tie between the two. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, I'll give it I'll give it an A. Wait, let me just check the chat. Oh, I remember. all I remember from Duck Dodgers is the theme song and that one lady everyone has a crush on. Oh, you mean Queen Tyranny? Yes, yes, she is kind of sexy. What makes your Dr. Gatsby sexier? Did you watch any Adult Swim shows? Yes, I have. That's a tier list ranking for another day, but Space Ghost Coast to Coast is here. I'm gonna talk more about that in a bit. But yeah, I see that, and Aqua Team Hunger Force, and Robot Chicken, and The Brack Show. It's really underrated. And did I mention Robot Chicken already? I think so. Yeah. And home movies as well. And Rick and Morty. I really like that one as well. Like, probably my favorite episode of that is the season 2 premiere. I think it's called A Rico in Time, I think. You sure put Grim and Evil on S tier ranking. Yes, thank you for predicting what I'm about to do with a bit. Coral Horse, thank you. To be honest, I have seen too many Adult Swim shows, but a decent amount. Oh, what's the name of the duck from the Grover guys? It's Dee Dee. It's actually, I kind of thought that it's an acronym for Duck Dude. I just came up with that in my head. You can even see it in the animatic I did of Dee Dee on my channel here, if you want. And yes, Cartuito agrees with me that Major Dr. Gatsby will always be the best. Yes, so thank you. Cheers for opinion validation. Garfield show. I think it's overhated. Yeah, I prefer Garfield and Friends. But I actually saw this show first before Garfield and Friends, and it's I'll put it in a good tier. Frank Welker as Garfield. He's no what's his name? Lorenzo Music, but he did a serviceable job with his what am I doing? What am I thinking? Ah, yes, I know what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the fact that Garfield speaks with his mouth instead of through his brain. I think that was something they did in the CGI direct-to-video movies as well, before the Garfield show. Generator X. It falls into this category. Don't remember too much of it, but I did catch a bit of it on channel surfing. I know people think it's underrated in the same veins as Symbiont Titan. It was screwed over by Cartoon Network for reasons. But once again, it's on my metaphorical watch list. Someday I'll check it out. Although I will say that Doc Holliday, she's fine looking. Like, she's voiced by Grey Dwell Griffin, and she's an attractive scientist character. What does that remind you of? Yes, I know I have my tastes in fictional cartoon women. George of the Jungle, the Teletoon series. I'll give it a solid C. That's alright. Or no, I think it's kind of bad. No, it's mediocre. Yeah, it's simply mediocre. Like, the only episode I really watched was the one where George he was playing with this stone. He was put it in his navel, but then that stone it was taken away from him for some reason. I forgot all that happened, but also the only episode that I really remember and thought was kind of funny. I rather watched the original series, but I actually haven't watched the original 60s George of the Jungle yet. Green Lantern. Just like Young Justice, this one was screwed over by Cartoon Network and given um, uh, apparently not enough episodes that it deserves, but I saw some of it on Cartoon Network Canada. I'm sorry, it's kind of boring to me. But this show is anything but boring. Well, most of the time. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. And I'll just throw in Grim and Evil as well. Again, do I really have to say how much I love the show and just Maxwell Adams and stuff to begin with? But you know what? I think I'll elaborate on my opinions on like the Grim and Evil era on Billy and Mandy and Evil Con Carne. So the Grim and Evil era of Billy and Mandy, it's still great, but I think it will get even better afterwards. Like Billy and Mandy has been great since the pilot, and it's been great until to the very last episode, which technically it's Underfist. A lot of people will count that as the series finale, and that was a great special. I wish that would be a series. If not a revival of Evil Con Carne, then make Underfist a series HBO Max, please. But hold on, let me just take a sip. Okay. And by contrast, the Evil Con Carne episodes for Grim and Evil are the best. No offense to the last 4 episodes. I love Grid Locked and Loaded and Hector King of the Britons. Those are the 2 funniest from season 2. But I'm not fully on the same boat as Maxwell Adams saying that season 2 is the absolute best. But I understand where he's coming from because, you know, those last 4 episodes of Evil Con Carne, they were the last. Well, unless you count Company Halt from Billy and Mandy. He-Man, the 2002 series, haven't seen it. And for that matter, I haven't seen that much of the original series either. Or Sea-Ra, or the Sea-Ra reboot. And Hi Puffy Amiyumi. Cult classic that... another cult classic that I haven't seen a full episode of yet. Apart from some clips, some reviews, it looks cute, but when it comes to the shows by Renegade Animation, I'm more of a Mr. Men type of guy. The Mr. Men show, I mean, which I occasionally forget exists. Let me look at the chat. Okay, let's see. I actually don't remember hating any episode of Billy and Mandy. To be honest with you, I'm on the same boat as you. These two, both of Maxwell Adams' shows, there isn't a single episode that I hate. Sure, there are some that are kind of underwhelming. They have some flaws, but they're pretty much, I feel like these shows are perfect the same way that a lot of people say that Avatar: The Last Airbender is a perfect show, in that even the weakest episodes, like the Great Divide, there's still some charm in it. There's always that charm, you know. Why not? Okay, now we have I Am Weasel. Now, unlike with Billy and Mandy and Evil Con Carne, I don't love this on an equal level as its sister, with in this case Cow and Chicken. Like overall, it's decent. Like my favorite episode is the episode Who Rubbed Out Cow and Chicken, which isn't the series finale to I Am Weasel because it will go on for an extra season for some reason, but it could serve as the finale to Cow and Chicken because well, basically it's to solve the mystery of who rubbed them out, and I won't really spoil what happens. I was just looking at the chat again. Okay. Infinity Train. I only saw book 1, and what a great book it was. The pilot was good too. Honestly, I think that Two Whip sort of kept her design in the pilot. Uh, because as the guys at the round table pointed out, her glasses are supposed to represent the shape of the infinity sign, and that's a creative character design touch. But I'm still okay with Two Whip's redesign for the series. Yeah, so I haven't seen a book 2 of Infinity Train yet, so no spoilers in the chat. Next we have Johnny Bravo, a show that I should be more of a fan of. Well, basically because in the first season at least, we have Steph MacFarlane and okay, you know what? Probably won't mention the other guy due to some recent controversies, but yeah, Steph MacFarlane is a writer on Johnny Bravo, as well as Cow and Chicken and Dexter's Lab. So that'll be something to catch my eye. And of what I've seen of Johnny, it's funny. It's funny from what I've seen, and I admired how there's an extensive use of smear frames, like just like the Dover Boys, which is supposedly one of the big influences for Dexter's Lab. But like I said, I see it more in Johnny Bravo's case. And I think this is an unpopular opinion, but I think I got slightly more enjoyment out of the second season than I did in the first season. Which is kind of surprising since, but don't get me wrong, the first season has some good stuff too, like the Scooby-Doo crossover and the Adam West episode. But I don't know, I just kind of like how they slightly expanded the cast in season 2 with Pops and Carl. And now we have the other Johnny of Cartoon Network, Nintendo's favorite, Johnny Test. I'll put it here. To be honest, I think it's overhated. But not the worst cartoon ever, honestly. Contrary to what Matthew Davis said, it's not the worst show ever. Now, there was a time where I might have put it in the B ranking, but I'll just put it here. It has some ironic admiration, what is wrong with me? It has some admirable charms to it, at least in an ironic sense. That was the last episode. I had no idea. Actually, I'm actually wondering what were you referring to, Cartoon Weirdo? If you were referring to Who Rubbed Out Cow and Chicken or Under Fist, because those were the two finales that I mentioned. Please clarify. Oh, and you also said there was a time in your life that you thought Johnny Bravo was the funniest show in the universe. Yeah, I can see that. Johnny is, he's a charming protagonist. Like, he's a muscular guy, but no woman wants to be with him. Well, he said, yeah, Johnny Bravo, just like Pepe Le Pew. It's not the type of cartoon you'd want to, it might not be the type of cartoon that will be made nowadays for reasons that I'm not gonna get into. Justice League, don't have too much memory of the original Justice League, but it looks solid, but I'll put it in here. Justice League Unlimited, I have more memory of. In fact, I watched it not too long ago on Teletoon. I really remember the episode with Supergirl and her evil doppelganger, whose name I forgot. I'm sorry, but I forgot her name. And but of the episodes I saw recently of Justice League Unlimited, I really liked the one with that focus on Black Canary. Now I'm sure there's more than one, but there was one that involved the the wrestling. If any of you remembers the name of that episode, please leave it in the chat, or I could just look it up myself if I want. Wait. Oh, so it was Who Rubbed Out Cow and Chicken you were referring to. Yeah, that was a good send off to those guys. And the ending is funny too. I'm not gonna spoil it, but if you watch the, if you watch, well, uh, I'm not sure if you actually saw it yourself, but if you know the ending to it, it's also the ending to the pilot to Cow and Chicken. And I've seen a person on Twitter compare it to Onward, the Pixar movie Onward, since you know most of that film has the main character's dad with just the lower half. And just this week accent, just like Unlimited, I saw some episodes of it on Teletoon recently. What the hell am I doing? I just realized what I'm doing. Okay, no, here and here, I'll put both of them here. Oh my god, I am so sorry, you guys. Yeah, I saw some episodes of Justice League accent recently, and it's solid too. The character designs were done by Shane Gwines, who also did the character designs for that Flintstones WWE movie. But the art style to that was one of the highlights, on top of the voice acted. And Shane Gwines is a really good cartoon character designer and pinup artist. I should get one of his books someday. And next we have Crypto the Super Dog. I swear, I want to sing a bit of the theme song, but I can't. It's too off key. I remember catching it on Teletoon, but my memories of it aren't too strong. I remember Crypto himself and the Batman dog and the evil hyenas. Where would I put it? Probably put it in the neutral category. Oh, yeah, no spoilers, but the ending made me go, what the heck? At the time, I remember what happened. Yeah, I know the ending to that ending was priceless. To the cow and chicken thing. And next we have Week of Super Evil, otherwise known as Canadian Evil Con Carne, only it lasted 4 times longer. Now, I got into the show before Evil Con Carne, around 2013. I would watch it regularly on light TV during the afternoon. It was good. And do you know what it and Rocko's Modern Life have in common? Both of them only have like 5 voice actors. Like there's only 5 voice actors in the cast to this and Rocko. Like with Rocko, you have Carlos Alzraki, Tom Kenny, Mr. Lawrence, Charlie Adler, and Linda something another, who does all of the female voices like Dr. Hutchinson. Similarly, we have with Week of Super Evil, we have the guy who voices Voltar, and Lee Talker, who voices Dr. Frog, the guy who voices Red Menace, the guy who voices General Sergeant, and there's Tabitha St. Germain, who a lot of you know for My Little Pony Friends of Its Magic, among a whole some other Canadian cartoons as well, including Ed, Ed and Eddie. Like she does all of the female voices. So yeah, there's that. The Life and Times of Juniper Lee. Haven't seen it beyond a promo on Teletoon. I heard it's kind of good, but the most infamous thing about it is that it was released around the same time as American Dragon Jake Wong. Like the two, like this and Jake Wong, they're both about Asian American teenagers, some magic, some mythical monsters, and a talking pug. And I'll admit, I've seen more of Jake Wong than I've seen of this show. But which one I think is better, I don't know. I'll have to watch a good amount of both of them to say. But which show do you think is better? American Dragon Jake Wong or The Life and Times of Juniper Lee, if you've seen any of them? Wong with the Royals. Haven't seen it. I know it's a mini-series, but I haven't seen it. Yes, the Looney Tunes show. You know, it's pretty likely that the Looney Tunes cartoons on HBO Max are gonna take its title, but I have so much love for this. For a long time, it was my favorite modern incarnation of the Looney Tunes in the franchise. I've been into it since the year it debuted in 2011. Like, that's almost 10 years ago. But hold on, let me just soothe my throat from all my consecutive rambling. That is some good tea. You know, I wonder if there's a slang for tea, like the same way you have Joe for coffee, but what do you call tea? But whatever. Anyway, the Looney Tunes show. Yeah, I know a lot of people were very vocal and mixed and negative about it, but you know, with me, I wasn't expecting it to be on par with the classic sorts, but great enough in its own right, and it was. Like the art style by Jessica Bortsutsky, who also worked on Bunnicula alongside Maxwell Adams. She did the character designs, and I like them. And I also admire Lola in this show too. Like, a lot of people say Lola's the best part. Like, she's actually Looney. Like, she isn't just the sex symbol as shown in Space Jam. Like, she's actually a Looney character, like just as Looney as many of the other Looney Tunes. Although, I'm kind of disappointed that some Looney Tunes characters don't get as much attention as others. That's why I like some of my absolute favorite episodes are the ones that focus on Sylvester, like the one from season 1, where he reunites with his or visits his mother, and there's also the episode where Tweety, Taz, and Sylvester were on this huge adventure called I forgot the name of it, but it's a pun on Homeward Bound Journey. But yeah, that was good. Yeah, Looney Tunes show, it's good. And I don't see Wabbit on here. For that matter, there's not a lot of shows that are primarily on Boomerang on this roster. If Wabbit, a Looney Tunes production, later known as New Looney Tunes, if it was on here, I'd give it a B. But compared to the new Looney Tunes cartoons on HBO Max, those are more, Wabbit is more of an artificial, it looks much more artificial in terms of recapturing the classic spirit. Next we have Mad, aka kid-friendly robot chicken. It's underrated. I have to say it's really underrated. And I admire how they were able to get away with so much with the jokes. Like I could admit that I'm precocious when it comes to my animation knowledge. So I'm able to identify a lot of the more obscure references that Mad makes. And so Mad it should be the show that more animation nerds should appreciate. Like I know it has some gross out humor and it isn't as sophisticated as say Robot Chicken, but I say it's a great alternative for those who think Robot Chicken is too offensive or graphic. Also, the spy versus spy sorts. Excellent. Oh, I just realized I haven't elaborated on Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I remember when it was first coming out. It was one of the few Cartoon Network shows that I really remember enjoying when it was on the air, with a clear memory of enjoying it. Let me look at the chat. Oh, so you're a fan of Juniper Way, Cartoon Weirdo. That's cool. But yeah, Foster's Home. It has some great art direction and funny characters as well. My personal favorite is probably Goo. The girl with the long pigtails who talks at a rapid pace. She's just so cute. It's so funny. Like she's one of Grey the Wild Griffin's more underrated roles, alongside Ghastly and Veronica from Fairly Odd Parents, and also Zandra from Legend of the Three Caballeros. Like Goo is up there. But once again, Foster's Home deserves some rewatching. I haven't watched it on a regular basis since 8 years ago. Okay, I should just hurry up with this because it's already been like an hour. So, Mao Mao. It's good. Like, even though I haven't seen much of Darkwing Duck myself, the title character reminds me of Darkwing in terms of how he's this egotistical hero who thinks he's as brilliant of a hero than he actually is. And you could compare the Badger guy, what's his name again? If you guys remember the Mao Mao sidekick's name, please tell me in the chat. But yeah, he's kind of the Wants Pad McQuack of the show. Oh. Yeah, Cartoon Weirdo says, I think Mad is a time capsule for what the 2010s were. Yeah, that's true. And I remember Nintendo making that statement, making that thesis for his review of it, as of late, from a while ago. But yeah, Mao Mao is solid. It's from some OKKO people, as that show was ending. And the Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. From what I can remember, from when I was watching it, I thought it was C tier, but I've been saying to myself that I need to rewatch it, because just like what I said about Two Stupid Dogs, it's a cartoon that is worth respected in terms of all the careers it wants or boosted, because some of the people who worked on Flapjack, like Pendleton Ward and JG Quinto, they already were working in the animation industry. Like Pendleton Ward, he did the Adventure Time and Bravest Warriors pilots for random cartoons. And J.T. Quinto, he was an intern on Camp Laswell, and I think the Gendy Tartakovsky version of Clone Wars as well. But meanwhile, I think this might be the very first thing that Alex Hurst worked on. Alex Hurst, the Gravity Falls creator, in case you don't know. But yeah, uh, Flapjack, the show itself, it's okay, but the impact it established, it's pretty much akin to Two Stupid Dogs, as well as Disney's The Fox and the Hound. Like, I made that comparison on Twitter and even in YouTube comments before. Yes, who needs Candy Island? It's safer at the docks. Yes, that's from the theme song. That was one of the most memorable parts. And speaking of Candy, Candy Wife is also a memorable part of that show. Peppermint Wary's wife, who's this Clay Mason woman made out of candy, who just sticks out like a sore thumb. Megas XLR. I know I did see a bit of it on Teletoon, but it goes into here because I don't have clear enough memory to judge it, but I should check it out. It's one of the biggest cult classics Cartoon Network has released. It's most infamously, it was infamously written off for taxes because it didn't do too well in the ratings, or at least later on. It might have done well at first, but later on, it did kind of bad in ratings, and I think it was expensive as well. But from what I heard, the creators of Megas XLR, they got back the rights to it, I believe. So that means there's a chance they could do whatever they want with it, like a revival or something. Like, in general, Chris something another, the founder of Titmouse Animation, he does have so much luck with cartoons. Like, he created a show called for MTV called Downtown that was canceled after 13 episodes, and he also created Motor City for Disney XD that was canceled after a few episodes. Like, I don't remember if it was him specifically, but Rebel Taxi or Pan Pizza said that well, yeah, I think that Chris something another last name I can't pronounce, he is kind of like the Charlie Brown of animation, since all three of his shows got screwed over by the network. But he's still doing fine with his Titmouse studio, producing some successful shows, like more recently the, what's it called, the Midnight Gospel on Netflix. And the only thing I remember of Megas XLR is an episode where the characters go to Las Vegas or something like that. Interested in Cartoon Weirdo. And I also know, according to Pan Pizza, there was a character in Megas XLR who was also a character in MTV's Downtown, and Megas XLR also did a parody of MTV as sort of a take that, you know, as a big middle finger for screwing over Downtown. And we have Mighty Magic Swords. I saw a bit of it on channel surfing, but not full enough to have a real opinion on it. It looks decent, but the most I can say is that, what's her name? Vamber, voiced once again by Gray the Wild Griffin. She's a cutie. See, and what's the leg? Mike and Ugg. Oh boy. Not that I hate it or anything, but it's the last cartoon that I found out existed. Like, by 2005-ish, I was aware of the existence of all of the cartoons, even the lesser known ones. But Michael and Ugg was the last one to become conscious in my memory, thanks to an online game. that I played on Cartoon Network Australia. It was off of the American website, I think. But you know, it might be better than I thought. Once I give it another chance. The art style is kind of cute though. It's like classic Chupo, only slightly less ugly. Yeah, Mixed Souls, I haven't seen it. The Moxie Show, the very first, the granddaddy of all Cartoon Network originals. There's only 2 episodes of it found. But of those 2 episodes, both the original incarnation with Moxie and Flea, it's charming. I'll give it that. Moxie is a charming character, and Flea is charming, and I'm happy that OKKO brought him back for a crossover nexus. The first time he was acknowledged in, like, what? How many years? 15? 16? Yes, I think 16 years. Mucha. I remember catching it on Teletoon, but I really only remember it for the theme song. It's said to be the first Flash animated show for TV, when actually that's kind of incorrect. There were a couple for it, and they're both Canadian, and both produced by Nelvana. Like, Sticking Around had some episodes animated in Flash during its 2nd season, but the first fully Flash animated show is John Callahan's Quads, which might be obscure for some of you guys, or actually a lot of you guys, but that was a Teletoon at Night show. It came out in 2 years before Mucha. But who knows, probably Mucha was in production first, before Quads, I don't know. But to be honest, I don't have much memory of Mucha, so I guess I'll put in here. Look at the chat. Cartoon Weirdo says, Mighty Magisaurus is the show I'd watch whenever I will. Mighty Magisaurus is the show I'd watch whenever I would watch something when I fake being sick. Okay. Yep. I know during the school hours they do put on some stuff that are kind of lower tier. My gym partner's a monkey. Overhated. I found it to be funny. I'll admit, again, I have to rewatch some of it sometime, but I remember being especially in love with it during 2009. It had some, it was funny, and Henry Armadillo was probably my favorite secondary character. Lego Ninjago, haven't seen it. Okay, KO, I haven't seen much of it, but I should. Like, I really admire Ian Jones Quarty for his admiration for Cartoon Network and for the cartoons he grew up with in general. This show is basically a love letter to all of the stuff that he liked as a kid and even as an adult. I mentioned Crossover Nexus already, and I only saw like clips of it, but including the big climax and all of the cameos that were referenced, including Moxie. That's perhaps the most important one. And the second most important cameo that was mentioned in Crossover Nexus for me was, of course, this woman over here. But yeah, Crossover Nexus, that was real. That should be enough for me and for other people to give a huge round of applause for Ian Jones Quarty and the crew of OKKO for their admiration for their workplace and for the medium of animation since the Renaissance age. Oh, they also did episodes on that's a parody of Dexter's Lab, and also an episode where they were watching the pilot. I should check those out in their entirety. Like, OK Kill is another extreme fourth wall breaker. Okay, let's see. Over the Garden Wall. I've only seen the first episode of it in its entirety. A kind of 5 years, or yeah, like 5 years wait on it. But if I see it, it's good. I need to watch more of it. I have respect for like the style, the aesthetic. Ozzy and Tricks. From what I can remember, yeah, it's solid. It's a solid show. I knew about it before I knew about the movie Osmosis Jones. Just to quickly give my opinion on that. Decent movie. The anime sequences are the best. The Bill Murray stuff was okay. I don't really hate it personally like some other folks, but like the scenes with Ozzy and Tricks themselves are easily the best. And, you know, I kind of question why people say Inside Out is a ripoff of Ozzy and Tricks, or rather Osmosis Jones. Like, in some respects I understand it, but to be honest, I think Inside Out is more of the movie adaptation of that one gag from the SpongeBob episode Squilliam Returns. You don't pay us. We don't even exist. We're just a clever visual metaphor used to personify the abstract concept of thought. And now we have the good Powerpuff Girls, S tier. And the new Powerpuff Girls, I've seen a couple of episodes of it. I don't think it's as bad as most people. It doesn't look that bad as most people have made out to be, but yeah. The Problem Solvers. I haven't seen it beyond reviews of it. Yeah, I agree, it looks ugly, but it can't be that bad, can it be? Let's see. Yes, my second favorite Cartoon Network show, Regular Show. The best of the decade, in my opinion. Well, the best of the previous decade, the 2010s. Not just for Cartoon Network, but for cartoons in general. My admiration for it started when I was glued to the TV with Cartoon Network Canada in late 2012. The more I watch Regular Show, the more invested I am with the slice of life elements mixed with the surreal elements. God, Regular Show is just so good, man. And I heard some. I think I heard some. Yeah, I did heard some good things about Close Enough, JT Quinto's newest show, which was delayed for 3 years, but finally it's coming out. It's coming to HBO Max, but you could watch one of the episodes early through the Annecy Film Festival's website. Oh, by the way, no spoilers for the Close Enough pilot, please. Robot Boy. I know it came on white TV, but not enough memory to have an opinion on it. Although I did see some fan art of the PE teacher, and she's cute. Just leave it at that. She's a cutie. Robotomy. Haven't seen it either, but it's just about as obscure as stuff like Michael and Ugg. It only lasted 10 episodes. You know, in general, Cartoon Network doesn't seem to have that much luck with robot shows. I might be getting ahead of myself since there's a couple more robot shows I need to mention, but I love them. they're short-lived, then they get written off for taxes, and they get just screwed over by the network. Like Time Squad and Robot Jones and Megas XLR and Symbiotic Titan and so on, so on, so on, well, actually I think I pretty much mentioned all of them. The ones that I've ranked so far are the ones that I uh, haven't already. Okay, let me just shut up. Samurai Jack. What I've seen of it, I respect it. I respect it so, but I'm sorry to say that because of the slow pacing, I don't love it as much as most people. Like a huge number think it's better than Dexter's Laboratory. Like it's Gendy's magnum opus. And yeah, I respect it for whenever it has some kick-ass action. And again, the art style is admirable as well. I'm surprised there isn't an art book for Samurai Jack. Like, we have art books for Adventure Time, Regular Show, Steven Universe, and Over the Garden Wall. But there isn't one for Samurai Jack. I'm surprised. You think they would make one for as a tie-in for the 5th season on Adult Swim, but they didn't. And for that matter, there isn't an art book for any classic Cartoon Network shows, but there was one for Kurtz the Cowardly Dog for its 20th anniversary, but it was a limited edition print, and you could only buy it from the creator himself on his studio's website. And of course, when I found out about that at the last minute, naturally I was the ANGRY. That spells angry. A is for angry. But hopefully I'll find it on eBay for a bargain price. Hopefully. Hopefully. Oh, goodbye, Cartoon Weirdo. See you in a future stream or a future video or something. Yes, thank you, Moonchild. If you're just tuning in, hi, this is DJ. I'm doing a Cartoon Network ranking. And you can leave a like on the video if you're enjoying it.